thanks to the supporters of channel member Rob Harley. Well, we have our shiny new look squad. We've got our unbeaten start to the season. Now you get to finally see the new look team play together for the first time. We're back to a normal schedule this week, boys and girls. What a time to be alive. And there is the league table off the back of that unbeaten start to the season. So 5 games played. Yes, we've only won 2 of them, but we've not lost any of them, which does put us 5th in the league, albeit 6 points behind leaders Luton, who've won 5 from 5 to open up the season. But our start has been pretty solid. We play against Notts County today, who are all the way down there. We should beat them, shouldn't we? But the key thing is we're getting to meet the new team, the new look 11, although it's going to be a new look 11 without Mr. Tickle in, because Mr. Tickle, as I think I mentioned in the last episode, has picked up an injury. He's going to miss the next month or so because he's broken his hand, and apparently hands are quite important for goalkeepers. One piece of admin before we get too much further. Diamantis, remember him? He's changed his name. One of the Name in the Game channel members has claimed him. He is now Jude McRobbie. So if you're wondering in 2 years' time whatever happened to Diamantis, who looked like a really good youngster, he changed his name. That's him. He still exists. Let's see if he ever ends up good enough to play for us, eh? But this is the team. It's Austin in goal. Jack Austin, who did play for us a little bit last season when Mr. Tickle was injured. It's not ideal that we're having to use him, but he's not a disaster, so fingers crossed we'll be okay. We then have a back four. Right, past Kev picked this team last week. Why is Faris playing left back? He isn't as good as... Oh, he's injured. Okay. I wish it showed me on here. Right, let's go to a screen that actually shows me if somebody's injured. Well, it's not this one. Goodness me. There you go. We've added the player status column, which I think we had on there before. There must have been an update that removed it. We've added the player status column so we can now see at a glance that Mr. Tickle and Fernandez are both injured. We've also added it on here, which again, it's just helpful to have that at a glance. I'm certain it was there previously, but it's Austin in goal, then a back four of Faris, Atkinson, Carragher, and new Loney Wayne at right back. Smith at the base of the midfield, Gordon and McKiernan ahead of him, then Wood on the left, Cabia on the right, and Sadie up front. Sadie not quite able to recapture his form from last season just yet. I don't think he likes the new system that we're playing. The clock is ticking on Sadie. We've got Taylor as another option who can go up front and play in a different way, but maybe in a more me style way. So Sadie needs a performance today. I'm recording this on Monday. I've not played the save since... I think this is the first time I've opened the save file this year, because we had the New Year's Eve, and then Christmas is complicated, isn't it? It's all very confusing. Made all the more confusing, and I will warn you now that my voice could disappear during this video. I've got a sniffle, so if I sound a bit sniffly, if I sound a bit weird, or if my voice starts to disappear, that's why. And I mean, you could play a fun game. If you're watching this in the future, a fun game over the course of this week of watch Kev's voice disappear and jump cuts appear for coughs and things as we manage to come out of the disrupted Christmas and New Year period. Obviously, this was when I was going to get sick. So we're trying to not acknowledge the sickness, but I should probably mention it to you so you don't think I've just lost my mind. But we've got a couple of back-to-back corners here. We're applying a little bit of pressure. Remember, Notts County way down the table. This should be a game that we'd be looking to win comfortably if we're serious about being in a promotion push. And I think we have to be serious about being in a promotion push. I don't think you can come into a team like Wigan, be backed the way we've been backed, and then not be in at least the promotion conversation 2 years in a row. JJ McKiernan, first goal for the club. That's what we were looking for from these two central midfielders. This is key to this system, having McKiernan and Gordon burst out of central midfield and get up there supporting the front three. And we finally see an example of it there. Sadie, desperately chasing himself back from an offside position, does manage to avoid getting involved in getting in the way of the play, but that was a little bit risky from him because he was miles offside. But this, if everything stays as it is, would put us up to 3rd in the league, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's definitely being part of the conversation. We'll have to have a look to see how soon we play some of these teams around us to maybe give you a more significant competitive game as the second match of the episode. I mean, I'm talking as if we've won this one comfortably. I mean, we are playing very well. Notts County producing precisely 0 XG, which I'm not quite sure how they've managed to have a shot on target and not generate any XG at all. Where on earth were they shooting from, and how did it end up on target? But that's the situation they've got themselves in, which I don't think I've ever seen that before. That must be a bug, surely. There's no way you can have a shot on target but still not have any XG at all. Right, Wood trying to get a counter-attack going for us. Lays it off to Farris, who of course is a centre-back playing out at left-back today, but can theoretically play there. I mean, when we brought him in, it was with a view to him being able to provide some backup at left-back as well. We weren't hoping to use him there very often, but he's having to play out there today, and that was a big chance for Notts County. I would say that's worth more than your 0.34 of XG that they got allocated, but it's a big chance. They missed it, and now we're at the other end trying to sort ourselves out with a longish throw. We've got the flick on, and there's Sadie, and I think it's being disallowed because it's still only showing him as having scored 1 goal. And he'd already scored 1 goal before. It has been allowed, so the number's just wrong. We've been trying to do long throws. He didn't even take a run up. We've been trying to do long throws throughout the entirety of this save, and that is the first time one has worked properly, and it's a beauty. Long throw, flick on from Carragher, Sadie with the header off the underside of the bar. Every goal always looks better if the underside of the bar is involved in it, and it looked thunderous. We're set piece FC, and we love it. Right, Cabia to Smith. This is a little bit more like it now. We've got a little bit of a cushion and can hopefully start to play some football. Sadie's got in behind again, and Sadie scores again. There you go. All he needed was a little bit of a rest for a few days. Obviously, in the game world, he hasn't had a rest, but I've not opened the save file up for days, and Sadie has decided that now he's had his New Year's Eve and his excitement, he's going to be good again. And it's 2 very different goals, 2 very good goals, and we turned the game on its head. It's 3-0, and this should be job done. And look how deep Sadie's coming to pick that one up again, and now it's with Cabia. We want a left-footed finish from a 3rd goal from Sadie. We want him to have a perfect hat-trick, and if McKiernan can side it across to him, he might even get it. Sadie lays it off to Gordon. I mean, I would have been shooting there on my left foot if I was Sadie. You don't get many opportunities in your career to score a perfect hat-trick, and he's stumbled across an opportunity today where he's got half an hour to just shoot on his left foot anytime he gets anywhere into the opposition half. Cabia now, who of course could deliver him a cross that allows that left-footed finish. It's lovely work from Cabia. Sadie is in the middle. Can he find him? He finds Wood, who's charging in off the left-hand side. His header goes over. It remains 3-0. And I guess we need to start looking in terms of making a few substitutions, doing a little bit of rotation. Look at the impact Cabby's had on today's game, by the way. 2 assists from him. He's actually on a higher rating than Sadie is, who's scored 2 goals, which is always a little bit of an interesting one. But Notts County trying to get things moving, but Carragher has had a very good game, just heading things clear all day long. Cabia with the cross again. Wood loops it back over. He's hit the top of the crossbar. It's back with Cabia. It didn't even go out of play. Wayne now with the cross, looking for Gordon. Can't find him. It's substitute o'clock. Let's have a look at what. Right, Wood's not had a very nice time. So Murray can come on for him. We'll also take off Smith, and Miley can come on for him. And we may as well take off Farris as well. And we can bring on, I think Cresswell. In fact, Atkinson can play fullback. So we'll bring on Green, and Atkinson can go out and play left fullback. And that should be enough for us to just see the game out. I think we can offer a little bit of praise in this situation. We've played very, very well. And with a 3-goal lead, hopefully we can't balls it up from here. McKiernan kind of ran himself into trouble a little bit there. I don't think he really had much of a plan other than just keep running. But Cabia wins the ball back. He's been brilliant today. He's got this left back on toast. There's nobody in the middle. Cabia plays it back to Wayne. Cross comes in from him. Murray nods it down to Gordon, and there's number 4. And this has been everything we ever dreamt of when we were putting this team together, when we were doing the transfers, when we were redesigning the tactic. This is the kind of afternoon we had in mind. We're just playing very, very well. More of this season, please, and we could have a jolly nice time. Right, Cabia definitely deserves a little bit of a rest. He can come off. And then I think we will take... I know Sadie's on a hat-trick. It's a little bit harsh. But Taylor's going to get 15 minutes, which was always the plan today anyway. Taylor's been coming on for him pretty much every game as I've been trying to decide who's going to be the main man. It's still been Sadie based off the back of what he did last season. And now he's earned himself another 6 games off the back of his performance today. But Taylor still needs game time, still needs the opportunity, these little 15-minute snatches of football to show that he might have something about him as well. This is lovely from Costello, and there is Taylor. And that's another very good goal. 2 substitutes combining, and it's now 5-0. And this is one of the best performances you've seen from a team of mine in the entire series so far, I think. We've just absolutely ripped Notts County apart. And let's have a look at that league table again, because this has been jolly pleasant. Luton have now won 6 from 6. Luton, I think, are probably going to be a problem this season. They seem pretty relentless. But we don't need to go up as champions. We don't even need to go up automatically. We just need to be in that promotion mix. Obviously, we'd like to get promoted if we have to do it through the playoffs. You know me, playoff expert. But I think based on this is now a 6-game unbeaten start to the season and a really dominant performance today. We've just hit the post. We've hit the frame of the goal several times today and scored 6 goals. We mean business, boys and girls. We're back on the regular schedule again. We're back playing football again, and there you go. Start as you mean to go on. 6-0 to Wigan. We're going up as bleeping champions, as long as Luton stop winning every game. It's kind of out of our hands, but I am interested to see when we play Luton, because if we play them in the next 5 or 6 games, obviously we'll show you that now. We don't play them until back end of November. So I guess that will be tomorrow's episode. Preston, I think, are around us somewhere, aren't they? We're just going to show you Preston. It's a local derby. They're level on points with us in the league. It's much more of a test than what you've just seen against Notts County. So we'll just go straight in and play Preston. Well, as you can imagine, no changes off the back of winning 6-0. Let's just go straight into the Preston game and hopefully win 6-0 again. I mean, if we beat this lot comfortably, who are up our end of the table rather than down in the relegation zone, then we know we're good. I already suspect we're good. I think we've put together as good a squad as we could in the circumstances. It's by no means a perfect squad, but it's pretty difficult to put together a perfect squad in League One. Certainly, dare I say it, in FM26, when it's a little bit harder to bring those free transfers in. Yeah, I know you've got the transfer room stuff that does. Certainly, with Bedford in non-league, using transfer room in, you would get loads of free transfers recommended on there. So we could use that in a similar way to how we used to use the Director of Football on FM24. But at this level, you use the transfer room, and the vast majority of the players are players that you have to spend cash money on. So we can't just go and get, on the 1st of July, 30 really good trialists and bring in loads of free transfers and kind of abuse the free transfer system, put the whole transfer budget into wages and build a super team of freebies. Is a little bit harder to do. So I think that has made the game a little more challenging at this level and probably a little bit more realistic. I think it's a more realistic squad, which is probably why we're now losing. Although the cross comes in, and there is Craig Wood. He's a big boy, by the way. He's 6'4", playing out on the wing. He's still only 21 years old. Another player off the Wigan conveyor belt, and another piece of excellent football from Cabia, who is looking like an incredible signing. But that, when you've got those crosses coming in, and you've got Wood and Sadie both coming at you as a centre-back, or a full-back even, at this level, that must be terrifying. And that's a lovely burst forward from Gordon. And what an immediate turnaround. There's still only 6 minutes on the clock. It's Wigan 2, Preston 1, 6 minutes into the match. If you were still queuing for your pie and a bread roll, do they have butter pies in Wigan? I know when I went to Preston, it was butter pies. I think it's meat pies in Wigan, but in a bread roll. It's all, they love a pie up north. But if you were still waiting for your pie, you've missed 3 goals. Shut it down now. That's it. Game over. We're happy with this. This puts us up to 3rd place, 15 points. Only 3 points behind Luton. So does that mean Luton are losing or not playing? We need to check what's going on at Luton because we want to win the league. Sadie, back to goal, doing his hold-up play again. Lays it off to Smith. And now Cabia is going behind his fullback again. What a performance from Cabia this has been today across both of these matches. And now Smith, from range, probably wasn't the right guy to be taking the shot from there. But yeah, what's going on with Luton? We're not allowed to see because the highlights are still coming thick and fast. There's highlights aplenty in this match. This time it is Preston trying to equalise against us after our little explosion at them after they scored 20. I think all 3 goals were in the space of about 90 seconds. And we're now 15 minutes in and it's 2-2. What a ridiculous football match. It's going to be one of those where it's like 4-4 at half time and then nothing happens in the second half, isn't it? Yeah, 5-5-6. So in the space of 2 minutes, 3 goals went in. And then we've had an 11-minute wait before the next ones. Right, Luton. Luton are losing at home to Grimsby. So there is an opportunity here for us. We do need to capitalise on it though. Smith with the in-swinger. That's a good corner. Atkinson looked like he'd been brought down there, but alas, 'twasn't. And it's back with Faris and now Wayne. And we've still got men forward here. McKiernan is one of them, as is Sadie. And it's probably for the best that in the last match he didn't get any opportunities on his left foot because you've just seen there what that man can do with his left foot. He was also offside, so it was double nonsense with bells on. All in all, not ideal. Remains 2-2. Preston have got a comfortably better XG, so they've created the better chances than us. And they are on the attack again. So I don't think it's, oh dear. Hold on. Sadie's rolling around all that. Do you want to put the ball out of play, chaps? We've got a player writhing in agony over here, which could be an enormous problem for us. And then Austin demonstrating that he's definitely not Mr. Tickle. McKiernan and now Wood. Shall we put the ball out of play? Yeah, there you go. Finally, someone's noticed Sadie's down. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's taken a knock and has indicated he wants to come off. It could be a bruised knee. Balls to him coming off with a bruised knee. He's supposed to be a big, strong boy. I bruise my knee 3 times a week walking into the edge of the sofa. Bruised knee indeed. Goodness me. Although Taylor did score off the bench in the last match, didn't he? So if Sadie doesn't fancy it anymore, maybe we'll make the change at half time. We have got the benefit of having 2 pretty good strikers. What's Opta? Because we're winning at it. Do we get a clue as to what that means? No. Let me know in the comments what an Opta is. And if we want to have more or less of it. I don't know. It might be golf scoring. Right, Taylor's coming on. Sadie can have a 45-minute rest to nurse his bruise that he's got. And now we look to, I mean, the highlight ended. We weren't looking to do anything. This is a big 45 minutes from Taylor because he's not had this long in a match yet this season. So he's not had this long in a match in this system. Luton are now 3-1 up, so they've completely turned that on its head. This would be 7 wins from 7 for Luton now. So all the more reason for us to go and find a winner in this one, or at the very least not let Preston do that. And that's what they've done. 53 minutes gone. Wigan 2, Preston 3. This is a football match. Unfortunately, it's a football match that's not going our way. I wonder how much better it would have been if we'd have had Mr. Tickle in goal. Looking at the possession, looking at the XG stats, I don't think we can put it all down to why are we unbalanced? We're supposed to be on positive at least. I'm sure when we set this tactic up, it was on positive. It's going to be from the next match. It's on attacking now. Wood with the header. We can do a shout as well, can't we? Never forget you can shout, Kevin. You silly boy. Let's demand more. And we might be... See, this is where I would have liked to still have Sadie on so I could bring Taylor up to play alongside him. I guess Costello could come on and play up front and we could go to 2 strikers. But we do need to throw some boys forward. Cabia, who's been a little bit quieter in this second half, but once again creating the chance and once again finding Wood. It's 3-3, and that was a camera angle and a half there, zooming all over the place. But Cabia is looking fantastic, and that's brilliant work from Wood. Arriving late, he's a big, tall boy. We'll drop back to a positive mentality. I don't think we need to do too much in the way of tactical shenanigans whilst drawing. Cabia is tiring, though, which isn't ideal. But we have got O'Neill, who, when I first arrived, I think he played in my first game. And then he got a moody on for not playing in a football. And it's like, I've been here a week, you've played every game, but now you're in a mood. So we sent him out on loan just for squad harmony, and he's never really had another opportunity. But I remember him being quite good in that first match. So he's back now. He's no longer grumpy. Let's see if he can be quite good. Miley's come on at the base of the midfield as well. We're going to offer some encouragement, and then we're going to look at our final two potential substitutions. Wood is also tiring. Costello comes on for him. And we've got a couple of defenders sat there now. I mean, neither of them are going to come on and make a difference, I don't think. So we probably, in fact, Faris can come off because he's on a yellow card. He's not having the best of times. We get Grian on. And I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the balance of the game, a draw here is probably fair and probably fine for us. But we'd love that winner. If we could grab the winner, that would be super duper. We certainly don't want to lose. We would quite like to win. We've drawn a lot of football matches this season. That Notts County game aside, I think we've still drawn more than we've won. We are still unbeaten, but we are also drawing too many football matches. If we look at the league table, when we can eventually get to it, 7 games played. Yeah, we've won 3, drawn 4, which leaves us on 13 points. There's only 3 teams in the league that are unbeaten. So we're going to collide with one of them in tomorrow's episodes. We'll play Luton. Yeah, that's what I thought. Absolute coward. Right, if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.